Welcome back to Morrowind, Game of the Year edition, and today we're going to be continuing on with the main quest a little ways in. Should get a few missions off here, but let's talk to Caius and get started here. Go down to orders. I've thought it over, and I want you to interview 3 informants in Vivec City concerning the Nerevarine and 6th House. First, I want you to speak with Adhiranar near the Khajiit, a Khajiit Thieves Guild operative. Second, I want you to speak to Helena, an Argonian in the Morag tongue. Finally, I want you to speak to Mayra Milo, a temple priestess. Here, I've written the details down so you won't forget, and here are 200 drakes for bribes and other expenses. Alright, so let's see. Adhiranar. Adhiranar is a Khajiit and a Thieves Guild operative. You can find her in St. Olm's Canton in Vivec. Be careful what you say and use common sense. People in the cantons are suspicious of outsiders. You may have to win or purchase their confidence. Alright, Adhiranar, and then there's Hulia. Hulia is an Argonian and a Morag Tong assassin. You'll find him in Vivec at the Black Shark Corner Club in the Lower Wasteworks, the foreign quarters. In addition to his other skills, Hulia is also known around Vivec City as a student of history and a lover of books and old things. And finally, Mayra Milo. Mayra Milo is a temple priestess who works in the libraries at the Hall of Wisdom and Justice. She's a friend, so be careful and don't get her in trouble. The temple is suspicious of outlanders, and wouldn't be happy to find Mayra talking to you about religious matters. She'll be easy to spot. Look for the priestess with the copper hair and copper eyes. Alright, so let's go on and get to Vivec. We need to go to St. Olm's Canton first to find Adhiranar. And I think we might have found her before, honestly. I'm not 100% sure. Let's try looking up her name real quick. Okay, maybe not. Alright. Well, St. Olm's Canton in Vivec. And we'll take the Silt Strider.
Where would you like to go? Where would you like to go?
And you can rest in Caius's bed, I believe. And if I would have been thinking about it, I would have went on and did it while I was there, but that way I could have got my magicka back up. So if you have any need to rest somewhere and you can't find a bed anywhere else, Caius's house you can rest in.
Oh,
Maybe we should just use Down Civvy. We would probably got us closer. Alright. And then St. Olm's is one of these two, I think. I think it's this one. I think that one's Dalen over there. Yep. Alright, so this is it. Now we need to find somebody to tell us where Adhiranar is. looking for a friend of mine, a female Khajiit named Adhiranir. Do you know where I can find her? Uh-oh. Yes, her name is Adhiranir, and she is a Khajiit. Do you know where I can find her? No. I see. Well, perhaps some other good citizens can tell me where to find her. And what is your trade, sir? I'm an agent. I work for a house or a company or the state, and I do things that need doing. Mostly I handle matters in the business of diplomatic lines, things that require mercantile skill, the art of speechcraft, trade and knowledge, hard facts and rumors, knowledge is power, as they say. And sometimes I do other sorts of things, things I can't talk about. Okay. So we have no idea who you are then.
Welcome, citizen. How may I be of assistance?
What about you over here? Maybe that name does sound a little familiar. For some reason, I can't seem to remember. So this means let's bribe her. Okay, I know Adhiranir, and if I know Adhiranir, she'll stay out of sight as long as Census and Excise agent is lurking about. Probably down in the underworks. Look for a trapdoor down from the canal works. Alright, Census and Excise. Imperial tax collectors. They hunt smugglers and tax stuff. So that guy's a tax collector. Okay. So we need to get down into the underworks and look for Adhiranir there. Alright, and there Adhiranir is. That was easy. Normally I can't get it on the first try. But
you want something?
sure. Great. So Caius says to you, speak with Adhiranir, and you have done this thing. You are speaking with me. But Adhiranir will not talk to you about the Nerevarine or Sixth House cult, and because why? Because Adhiranir is, at this moment, very distracted by the Census and Excise office. Alright. You do not know this? They are collectors of the Empire's taxes and tariffs, and the Emperor has outlawed trade in many things like Dwemer artifacts and ebony, and a Census and Excise agent will enjoy being a pest about such things for several reasons. A Census and Excise agent is not Adhiranir's favorite person. If you want Adhiranir to help you, make the bad agent go away. Then she will tell you things. Okay, so we need to make that guy go away. Yes, her name is Adhiranir. Do you know where I can find her? Yes, she took a gondola to the mainland. What a disappointment, but thank you for your time. I was just heading back to the mainland myself anyway, and maybe I'll run into her there. Alright, so all you have to do is talk to him about it and he'll leave. Willingly, it seems. Don't have to kill him or anything like that. You're good to go.
Khajiit has no words for you.
So, are you the one Adhiranir must thank for getting rid of the annoying Census and Excise agent? Indeed. Adhiranir is glad to see you and very happy to tell a friend of my good friend Caius all of the Sixth House cult. And Adhiranir knows nothing about the Nerevarine, but Adhiranir is happy to tell you that too, if it makes Caius happy. Ask away, friend Nomad. Alright, yes, Adhiranir knows nothing about the Nerevarine cult because it is just silly superstition, so you tell Caius this. Nobody in her right mind pays any attention to this nonsense. Prophecies and ancient heroes reborn and other silliness, fuzzy tales for little kiddies. Alright, Sixth House cult. This Adhiranir knows about because it is about smuggling. Some smart smugglers are suddenly too busy for their old clients because they have a new employer at the Sixth House who pays very well. But what do they smuggle now? Here doesn't know, but because they are very secret. And this is odd because these smugglers are always loud and bragging, and now they hush up like fat-bellied kitties full of sweet meats. Alright, so smuggling. Big business. The Empire says we can't trade skooma, mood sugar, ebony, Dwemer artifacts, exotic Dwemer weapons, Dunmer weapons, and armor, and slaves, so smugglers trade these things. Okay. Cool. Alright, now we need to go to the next informant, who is Hulia, and Hulia is, in the foreign quarters at the Black Shop Corner Club. And what we can do, we'll just Civvy out of here. Hop on the gondola to foreign quarter. And the Black Shop Corner Club should be down here somewhere. It's in one of these two sides. I'm not sure which side though. If you didn't know where it was at, you just have to look around until you find it. Alchemist, Jobasha's. Alright, so it's on the other side, I think. Yeah, Apothecary.
I'm listening.
Yes, Outlander?
There we go. Black Shop Corner Club. And this is an Argonian, so it's probably that guy.
I know you.
I'm gonna create us a new save real quick. Haven't saved in a minute.
Outlander.
Alright.
This
There's
warm
Hulia.
blood has questions.
I welcome you as the friend of my friend, Nomad, but I wish to go to my friend's bookstore, and these troublesome fools are in my way. I've tried to persuade them, but they hate my race, and I fear there will be violence, perhaps, if you speak with them, but be careful, and be ready. Alright, friend's bookstore. My friend Jobasha the Khajiit has a bookstore, Jobasha for Books. If you agree to travel together with me there, I will answer your questions, but before we go, I beg you to try to persuade these troublesome fools to leave us alone. Otherwise, I fear they will attack us the moment we go to leave. Alright, so let's see, troublesome fools. The sight of a free Argonian offends these racist thugs. It would tarnish the Morag Tong honor to slay them, and I don't want to trouble my friend Seralis Galmus by fighting in this club, but I must go to my friend's bookstore, where we can talk in peace. If you have a way with words, perhaps you can talk to them, or if you have a way with money, they might be bought. Otherwise, I fear there must be bloodshed. Okay. I guess we gotta talk to these fellas.
Wealth beyond measure, Outlander.
Shut up and butt out, Outlander. It's the filthy lizard we're talking to, not you. Why are you talking to me now? It's an Argonian and I don't like it, but I can leave it alone. Fine, it's just a filthy lizard anyways, not going Nothing to get upset about. We'll leave him alone. Go on, get out before we change our
Is there
minds.
something you need?
Alright. Travel together. Let's go. We travel together with me to Jabash's rare books. We leave the door to the foreign quarter westwards, turn west. Are you just saying how we get there? I must warn you, unless these troublesome fools are persuaded to behave like civilized beings, there may be fighting and killing if we try to travel together. Yes, please follow me. Thank you, Nomad. I will follow you to Jabash's rare books, and we will speak further there. Okay, come on.
Yes, Outlander.
Even if they attacked, we could destroy them. We are the most powerful wizard in all the land.
Outlander.
Yes, thank you very much. We should be free from distraction here. Now, I said I'd tell you about the Morrowing cult so you can report back to Caius, and I don't know of any sixth house cult, but I can tell you what I do know. Alright, so this guy knows about the Morrowing where the other person knew about the sixth house. So, to understand the Morrowing cult, you must understand the history of the Ashlanders. Nerevar means something very different to the Ashlanders from what he means to Dunmer of the Great Houses. You should also know about the persecution of the Nerevarine and the legacy of the false incarnate. For the Nerevarine cult is at the heart of the ancient conflict between the nomadic Ashlanders and the settled Great House, Dunmer. Here is a summary for Caius, but ask your questions and I'll answer in detail. Alright, so let's do history of the Ashlanders first, and then we will do persecution next. In the first era, the nomadic Ashlanders and the settled Dunmer clans were much alike, but after the First Council and the formation of the Great Houses, Ashlanders have been steadily forced into the poorest and most hostile lands. Now the nomadic tribes look to the prophesized return of Nerevar for a restoration of their ancient rites and religious traditions. Alright, cool. Persecution of the Nerevarine. The temple treats the Nerevarine prophecies as heresy, and the temple imprisons and executes heretics, unless prevented by imperial law. But since the Nerevarine cult is hostile to the Empire does not interfere when the temple persecutes the cult. Ashlanders hate the temple, and particularly the ordinators, for their ruthless treatment of the Nerevarine cultists. Alright, let's see. Summon. When the Ashlanders joined Nerevar in the Battle of Red Mountain, he swore on his great ring, one clan under Moon and Star, to honor the ways of the spirits and the rights to the land. But after the victory, Ashlanders say the power-hungry tribunal slew Nerevar in secret. Then, setting themselves up as gods, the tribunal and the great houses forgot Nerevar's promise to the tribes. Ashlanders say Nerevar will come again with his ring, cast down the false gods, and make good his promises to the tribes.
We greet you as a friend.
Alright, do you know...
Welcome.
So we didn't ask him about the sixth house, but we want to. I never heard of such a thing. House Dagoth was the sixth house, but in the war of the First Council, they betrayed the other great houses and were destroyed for their treason. But I've never heard of anyone worshipping them. Dagoth the ancient head of House Dagoth, is the devil of the tribunal faith, but I've never heard of anyone worshipping him either. Alright. Well, that answers that about the Nerevarine. Now we need to go talk to Mayra Milo, I think. Yeah, Mayra Milo, a temple priestess at the Hall of Wisdom in the temple. So, let's go on and hit our Alm City and get to the temple. Hall of Wisdom too, so that is down here, I think. So that's the High Fane up top, which is the temple locations. Hall of Wisdom. I think we've actually ran into Myra at this point too when we were looking for a book for something. I think it was for Skink, maybe, in the Mages Guild quests.
I'm very happy to make you
Copper eyes and copper hair. That doesn't look very copper to me, but there we go. Yes, I'm Mayor Milo. Caius sent you? Follow me into the back of the library. We can't talk here. Okay, secretness. Secretive. Says you meet with me in the back of the library. You've got like this legendary powerhouse behind you in all of its glory. Go ahead. I'm afraid I don't know anything about a 6th house cult, but I can tell you about the Morrowing cult. Alright. The temple worships Nerevar as a saint and hero, but prophecies of his reincarnation are punished as wicked heresy. The Morrowing cult claims the Tribunal are false gods, hence the temple's persecution of the Morrowing cult. A group called the Dissident Priests disputes temple doctrine on the Morrowing prophecies. The proscribed book, Progress of Truth, describes their beliefs. Get a copy of Progress of Truth for Caius. That will tell him things he needs to know about the Morrowing cult. Alright, let's see. Persecution. I want to ask about the persecution, dissident priest, and I guess that's it. It's an Ashlander cult, primitive superstition, says the temple. Nerevarine say the Tribunal are false gods. I've never understood why the temple wastes so much energy on them. The faithful cannot be shaken by such attacks, and the Ashlanders are just ignorant savages. But since the submission of the temple to the Empire and the erosion of faith among the Dumbert, the militant wing of the temple is increasingly fierce in its attacks on heretics and heathens. Dissident priests. The dissident priests dispute temple doctrine and are outlawed and persecuted by the temple. Ordinators arrest and imprison heretics, and the Empire cannot interfere. Progress of Truth lists their beliefs in brief. They challenge the purity and divinity of the Tribunal, suggesting their powers are sorcerous, not divine, and perhaps akin to the powers of Degathur. They also condemn the arbitrary power of the Ordinators and accuse the temple hierarchy of self-interest and corruption. Alright, so we need to find a copy of Progress of Truth is what it sounds like. Where is that at? The book lists the disputes of the dissident priests and Tribunal Temple doctrine. The temple has outlawed the sale or possession of the book, so it will be hard to find. You have a copy here, but I fear I'm being watched by the Ordinators here. A safer plan would be to search local booksellers. Some booksellers ignore temple bans on outlawed books for profit or for principles. Alright, watched by the Ordinators. I do not care for temple politics, but I have read Progress of Truth, and it troubles me. I have friends, former priests, who have gone into hiding, so I am bound to come to the attention of the Ordinators. I am careful, but I'm afraid. I'm no secret agent like you or Caius. Sooner or later, I too must go into hiding. If it is not too late. When you return to Caius, tell him I am worried, and that if something goes wrong, I will leave a message under the agreed code word, Amaya. Alright. So, Amaya. And we're looking for Progress of Truth. Now, I think we probably can find one copy somewhere. Let's see. Won't be in here though. So we'll head on out. It's a little funny that she's telling us all of this when we're the patriarch of the temple, so we're like the leader of the temple. So that's wonderful, you know, just telling yourself you're good. Offices, Hall Underworks. Beck, Underworks. So we'll pop on over to the Hall of Justice. Justice offices is where we want to go, I think.
Greetings. I am at your service.
And we're going to want to go into the hidden library in the justice office, which is down the hall. In here, and down into the hatch. Now, if you remember, we came down here, like I said, for Skink, and let's see if we can find that book, Progress of Truth. Let's see, where would it be at? The last time we were down here, we killed the Ordinator. I'm not really interested in killing him this time around, so I'm just not going to talk to him. Easy enough to kill him if you want to, go for it. He does have a set of Ordinator armor on, so you'll get that, which is very nice to sell. They got the plans. So you take a read through this on your own. If you want to, you can pause the show and see it. Scholars and agents of the Position Order. It's quite a detailed plan here. Alright. It's not seeming like there's a... It's not seeming like there's a copy of it in here, so... Progress Truth, right there. Alright. It's right in front of the Ordinator, too. Sweet. So this is going to make it interesting to take. But what we're going to do here is we're going to use our invisibility spell that we picked up for the first time. Concealment. Oh man, we don't even have a... It's a very low chance of casting it, but wow, okay, that's a very low chance. Let's save. Just in case something goes wrong and we end up getting a bounty, we can reload and just kill the Ordinator at that point. But we're going to use our magic. Takes a ton of mana to cast this spell. Ooh boy. we go. Alright, and we stole it successfully. Now we just gotta recall out and get back to Caius.
I'd be happy to talk. My pleasure, really.
Here to discuss your orders, Nomad, or is there something else you want? Let's see here. Where are your orders? Orders. I have your report, and I'll make copies of your notes from Hulia and the Progress of Truth. Give me time to read and digest all of this. In the meantime, I'm promoting you to Journeyman. You're doing good work, and here are 200 drakes. Go out and treat yourself to a new pair of shoes, and go do some jobs for the guilds or other freelance work. Just keep your cover story current or get some training. Then you're fit and rested. When you're fit and rested, come back, and I'll have new orders for you. Journal's been updated. Alright, doesn't seem like he took the book, which kind of sucks, because we took the time to steal it for him. But it'll be alright, so go on and repair our stuff all the way back up. Do away with some of this excess weight. And I think we got some stuff to make some potions with. Restore health. Alright, so only one set of potions. We got some stuff to sell. Do you want to hit his bed and heal? You had a disturbing dream. You can only recall one part. A tall figure with a golden mask led you among the dead as through a wedding celebration. You heard many voices, but no lips moved. You strained to breathe, but your chest didn't move. The tall figure spoke with each figure as he passed among them, laughing and joking as if they were alive, but they made no reply. You tried to cry out, but without breath, your tongue fluttered in vain. Alright, so we just had a dream of Dagoth and as you can see, we didn't regain our magicka, and if I would have noticed before I left, I would have slept again. That way I could have healed up. So it's because of the dream that we didn't heal up. So, no big deal. That's known to happen at this point. And we're going to talk to
What
this
brings
guy
you
here as
here,
well.
Breton?
He's another dreamer. I feel as though I've just awakened from a dream, a terrible dream in the 6th house. Do you mean I've been under a spell, a curse? So, still got more people that are waking up from this dreamer state where they're dealing with Dagoth. There's a handful of them around each city, so if you haven't woken up, then if you talk to them too much, they'll actually attack you. So yeah, if you have somebody just come up to and talk to you randomly that's sounding crazy, don't talk to them too much, or you'll have to kill them. Unless you want to kill them, I mean, then by all means, go do it. So, alright, let's sell that book. Progress of Truth. Maybe, what, 6, 7 of these? Yeah. There we go. In your dream, a tall figure with a golden mask greeted you, saying, "There are many rooms in the house of the master. Be easy, for from the hands of your enemies I have delivered you. It seems you have died, and could see yourself laid upon a table lit by candles, but with your own hands you touched the figure, and the figure drew breath. opened eyes and rose from the table. Then the room was gone, and the world filled with light, and you awoke. Alright, so we're still having some dreams. We gotta get a few more, I think. Maybe one before we can actually rest again. You dreamed that a tall figure with a golden mask spoke to you, but you understood not a word. He smiled and seemed pleasant. But when he reached to touch you, it terrified you, and you tried to escape, but you couldn't move. You tried to cry out, but you couldn't make a sound. The figure kept smiling and talking, but you felt sure he was trying to cast some sort of spell on you. When you woke, you couldn't recall how the dream ended. Alright, there we go. Now we've rested up. And let's see, what am I forgetting? I'm forgetting something here, so I normally would start a new episode here, but the next quest is not that long, so I'm going to tack this one on to this that was going to be a standalone episode. So, we need an Ashlander informant. I have heard of a fellow in Aldrun named Hasur Zanzubani, an Ashlander who left the Waste to become a wealthy trader. They say the Ashlanders like to give and receive presents. Take these 100 drakes to find out what Zanzubani likes, and get him a gift. Then give him the gift, and see if he will tell you about the Ashlanders and the Neverring Cult. Then report back to me. Let's see, where is Hasur? Hasur is an Ashlander who left the Waste to become a wealthy trader. Okay, and found in the Rat in the Pot or the Council Club. Alright. So we're going to make our way over to Aldrun and talk to Hasur.
I must say, I find you most interesting right now. Please go.
Friend.
Alright, so the Rat in the Pot is this building here, I believe. And I think he's in here. I'm not 100% sure anymore, but let's see. Yeah, he's in here because he's down this little back alley under the bar. Or maybe not.
Macera.
You should be a dark elf, so Soar. Nope.
Its scent is unfamiliar.
It's not the guy, alright.
Its scent is unfamiliar.
I swore he was back here, but maybe not. Alright. So let's move on to the next place, which would be the Aldscar Inn. Ah, there it is over there. Alright. Or Council Club. I think that's another place that he said look, so
Come on, I have a little day to stand
maybe
around
it.
and talk to you.
okay.
Speak, traveler. What can he do for you?
So none of these people know of him, so I'm guessing that I'm in the wrong place again.
What is this regarding, brethren?
It's probably Aldskarian where I'm supposed to be at. Which might be one of these buildings. Yep, right there. Yep, and there's that little way down right over here. There we go.
Commander, but make it quick.
Hesor. I am Hesor, nomad. May you bless and be blessed. I do not wish to be rude, but if you have business, speak it, for I am at leisure and prefer to be alone with my thoughts. Business. I see, you wish to learn of Ashlanders from me, and what is it that you wish to learn? What are their gift-giving cultures, customs? Curious question. A gift is a sign of courtesy among strangers and affection among friends. Among strangers, a thoughtful gift is a sign that you are cautious and considerate, and aware of others' wants and needs. Such is particularly useful for traders and travelers. Among friends, it is a private thing and subtle with great risk, for the test of the gift is how well it will be tailored to the receiver. Alright, so we want thoughtful gift. Yes, a gift that shows you have taken care to learn something about the receiver. For example, I love poetry. No stranger can expect to know this, but a book of poetry given to me by a stranger shows the giver respects me and has made special effort to know and please me. But now I answer your question and would like some time to myself, if you will excuse me. Okay, so we'll head on off now, and we're
So strange this place.
to
Far
look
from the
for.
marsh.
Is that what you wanted to know? He's born an Ashlander. He has his own room here and knows the speech and customs. He's grown rich by trading with them. Things prized by Westeros. Is that what you wanted to know? What sort of gift would he like? What indeed? He is so rich, I don't know. Perhaps a book. His room is filled with them. I've seen them when I clean. They're all over the place. Alright.
What do you ask of?
Which we know he wants a poetry book. So, let's figure out which is his room. Don't see any books yet. Oh, see books over there. What's to be the only room with books too? Red Book of Riddles, Ashland Hymns, 5 Far Stars. Save real quick. Alright, so now that we saved, we're going to try to steal one of his own books. Maybe this one. There we go. We stole his own book. So now let's go try to give it to him.
Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time.
What is your business with me? Business. I believe I've answered your questions about choosing a thoughtful gift. What is your business with me? This is a gift for me? I'm amazed. A copy of Ashland Hymns? Simple sentiment. Sentiment simply stated. I gratefully accept your gift. My people have never loved the written word, and I lament their ignorant scorn for such common yet potent magic. I thank you, and I honor your courtesy, Nomad. It would please me to return your courtesy by answering your questions. What would you wish to know about the Ashlanders in the Neverring Cult? Courtesy. Challenge a stranger. Okay, so Neverring Cult. They worship the great Ashkan and Hortator, Nerevar, Moon and Star, who in ages past destroyed the evil, godless dwarves and banished the treacherous Dagoth-Ur and his foul hosts beneath Red Mountain. The cult is a small consequence in Ashlander worship. And only among the Urshalika do its followers have any influence. Other Ashlander tribes share the sentiments of the cult, but regard the Nerevarine prophecies with suspicion and skepticism. Ashlander worship. All Ashlanders in a tribe, young and small, are born in the ancestor cult of their clan. The Nerevarine cult is different, though. It is a very small cult with only a few wise women with the gift of prophecy and a few holy warrior heroes who guard and protect the seers. Sul Matul Ashkan of the Urshalika is a warrior protector of the cult, and Nibani Masaya, also of the Urshilaku, is the oracle seer of the cult. There's too much to tell. Here, take these notes. I've written here what you should know about the Ashlanders in the Nerevarine cult. But most of all, if you're visiting a camp, there are things you should know about courtesy and challenges among the Ashlanders. And since you ask about the Nerevarine cult, perhaps you'll be interested in my views on the Ashlanders and foreigners, because a guiding passion of the Nerevarine cult is their hatred of foreigners. Alright, so Ashlanders and foreigners. Most Ashlanders wish all foreigners and their false gods could be driven from Morrowind. At very least, Ashlanders wish the foreign devils would leave them in peace. Ashlanders think it shameful to attack unarmed persons, but they will kill without hesitation an armed person who offends them or their clan laws. No Ashlander is fool enough to make war against the Empire. However, if such a war might be won, many Ashlanders might cheerfully give their lives to win such a war. Alright, so now we've done this quest, and it's time to get back to Caius.
With pleasure. Please, go ahead. I'm all ears.
Are you here to discuss orders, Nomad? Thank you for your report, but keep Zanzibi's notes on the Ashlanders. You'll need them. I'm promoting you and sending you to the Urshilaku camp to speak with Sul Matul and Nibani Masaya. Before you go, I think it may be time to tell you what's going on. The Emperor and his advisors think you have the appearance of meeting the conditions of the Nerevarine prophecies. That's why you were pulled out of prison on His Majesty's authority and sent to me, so you could satisfy the conditions of the Nerevarine prophecies and become the Nerevarine. Here, take this, a decoded copy of the coded package you gave me when you arrived. Read it later. It should explain everything. As you'll see in the decoded message, the Emperor and his counselors say you have the appearance of satisfying the conditions of the prophecy. Do you really satisfy the prophecy? Are you really the prophesied Nerevarine? At first, I thought we were just supposed to create a persuasive imposter. Now I don't know what to think, but I am sure of one thing. This is not just primitive superstition, and we will treat it seriously just as His Majesty commands. So, Zansubani says Sul Matul and Nibani Masaya at Urshilaku camp are heads of the Nerevarine cult, so I'm sending you to speak with them. Tell them your story and have them test you against the Nerevarine prophecies. As heads of the Nerevarine cult, they can best judge whether you satisfy the prophecies. When you've spoken with them, report back to me. Here's 200 drakes for expenses, and pick up essential supplies at Fort Moonmont. Alright, well, that's where we're going to call it for today, y'all. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one, where we go and start the Nerevarine prophecies.